It's the Morning Scoop, and I am your host, Kevin Noon. It is Thursday, August 4th. Today is the start of fall practice 2022 at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center Complex, whatever the C is in that one. And I know you are excited about that, as am I. What are we hoping to see? Well, that remains to be seen. Generally when we get to see practice, it's a lot of stretching, but, there's a matter of what do we want to see and what do we want to hear. I'm going to talk about some things that I'm hoping to hear about here in this abbreviated morning scoop here again, Thursday, August 4th. It's been a minute since we have had a chance to see the team. Obviously, with spring practice, and that was done in mid-April. And then the team goes off and kind of does its, late spring, early summer, all summer activities. We hear bits and pieces. We get a chance to kind of bump into guys on the NIL path, but we don't get an opportunity to talk directly about what is going on. I mean, obviously, some things are going to come out of the Woody. We're going to hear things, but what are the expectations? What is the hope? I mean, I think that anybody coming out of today, the first practice in shorts. I mean, you're not going to be like, okay, well, we know what this team's all about. We know what the defense is going to look like. It's fixed or it's not fixed. And that's not the case. That's not the situation. That's why there are a bunch of practices leading up to the season opener against Notre Dame. And, we will do our best to keep track of everything that is going on. There is a media availability later today to check out the team. We expect to hear some things coming out of that in terms of everybody being there, what guys look like. I mean, we're still a couple days away from the hotel check-in. One of the weirdest and creepiest days of covering the team, because you're standing in front of a hotel watching guys come in with suitcases and then trying to extrapolate what it means to what their offseason was all about based on that. So, sometimes you can tell. You can certainly tell if a player, if DeJuan Jones has dropped 20 pounds, you're going to be able to see that at that point. If somebody's yoked up a little bit, you're going to be able to see that. But, I think we're going to need to hold some of our comments until we're a little further in. Let's get the pads on these guys. Let's see what's going on at that point, and then we'll have a little bit of a better idea. But that doesn't mean, once again, that we won't hear things and things won't arrive on the message board of saying, hearing this and hearing that. And that's fine, because, that's every bit as valid as the observations you're going to make, especially when you get the opportunity to see 4 periods if you're at practice. But, what I want to see most, obviously, is what the defense is going to look like. And that doesn't mean we never get out there and get to see 11 on 11. You get pulled out of there before any of that happens. So we're not going to be able to get out there and see, okay, this is how they're kind of doing things in this situation. This is how they're doing things in that situation. They don't want that information out there. And honestly, as a member of the media, I don't want to put that information out there because, the stuff is going to get to other teams. So it's not, there's no gain in doing things in terms of schematics. And throughout my career, I certainly have seen at various stops along the ways, people maybe being a little too fast and loose with some things that they see in practice. And that doesn't mean that I make a habit of holding things back. I certainly don't. But I certainly don't want, there's certain things that you just don't want to get out there and put out there. I use the term trick plays loosely because Ohio State doesn't run a number of trick plays. If Ohio State started showing us trick plays, I would say, well, that's fake. That's not that. We're never going to see that. I would put that there with throwing to the tight end and the diamond formation and putting 2 quarterbacks out there and things like that. It's other things that we've seen at various points along the way. And it's like, well, is that for real? No, probably not. Probably not for real. But, what does the rotation on the defensive line look like? Where does Tyler Friday fit in after missing last season? Obviously, everybody wants to get as much JT and Jack out there as possible. You still have guys like, Zach Harrison and so on and so forth. Where, how do they rotate guys to get their best guys out there in the most meaningful plays and the most meaningful situations. Through the years, we've seen Larry Johnson do a very good job of making sure he splits up the snaps, and your top guys are still going to see more than everybody else. But I think that there's also going to be an instance of when your depth allows you to go into your threes and your fours, and your threes and your fours are better than most people's twos, then that's fine. But when you start to get a little bit, you're not as deep at the position. I mean, obviously, you need to get guys reps. You need to get guys experiences, and that's what that's what the redshirt rules for. That's what the redshirt rules for. When you're going to be able to get 4 games without losing your redshirt, that's what games against Arkansas State and Toledo are for. You're not going to burn your redshirt by playing in those games. We're probably not going to see a ton of depth in the Notre Dame game unless that one gets woefully out of hand. Which means, vis-a-vis, Ohio State fans want to see the 3s and the 4s in that game, because it means that game is decided by halftime or so, and there's the chance to do that. So what does the defensive line look like? Where does somebody like Tyler Friday fit into this? How are they going to determine some of the reps on the interior line at defensive tackle? All things that I'm going to be curious about. All things I'm not going to know a darn thing about today. I want to kind of see, and this one's going to be hard to see as well too. I want to see, are they really going almost exclusively nickel 4-2-5 at practice, or do they still have to do some 4-3 periods because Wisconsin is on the schedule? I mean, you have to, I've said it time and time again. I think I said it in yesterday's show. You have to be ready for that type of offense if you're Ohio State. And Jim Knowles and the coaching staff has said that there's going to be an instance where they're going to have to put the Sam out there, and they've even attached it to Wisconsin. I mean, and maybe Wisconsin isn't going to be the only team like that, but Wisconsin's a team that's always going to be that, as they have their talented tandem at running back, Braylon Allen, and I think it's Ches Malusi. So you have those two guys. They're probably not going to be a real pass-happy team. But then again, maybe they come out and they try to test Ohio State. But we'll see. I mean, that game isn't until week 4, I believe. I think Ohio State opens the conference schedule against Wisconsin, if I'm recalling correctly. What does a linebacker rotation look like? What is, you sit there and you have guys like Tommy Eichenberg, you have guys like Steel Chambers. What does this mean for Taraja Mitchell? What does this mean for some of the young guys? Is this going to be, and he's still a young guy, so I say this only in way of, is it his turn yet? Not that he's not been excelling, but where does Reed Carrico fit into this? I mean, certainly when you have young linebackers like CJ Hicks and Gabe Powers, I mean, how quickly do they assimilate? Probably not practice 1. I mean, and if you're an early enrollee, you have the opportunity. You're not going to be that guy there at practice who doesn't know how to line up. And we've heard that from various coaches, that practice 1 is making sure guys know how to line up, making sure guys know how to practice. Just because you were able to practice in high school doesn't mean you're going to be able to do, what it is that you're going to need to do at Ohio State, or at least on the collegiate level. So, this first practice is a lot of, getting things right in terms of making sure that you're able to practice. If you're able to practice, then you're able to get better. If you don't understand, okay, we're going to go and we're going to have some individual stuff, and then we're going to do stretching, and then we're going to take the team huddle, and then we're going to go to special teams, and then we're going to go kind of on from there. Then you're going to be wasting limited time trying to herd cats and get guys into the right position. So once again, that's what you kind of get with the first practice. Offensively, I want to see what the second team line looks like. I mean, obviously, I feel very good about the first team offensive line. It's going to be a little bit of a different setup. We've talked about this before. I've talked about it in my written content. Not 4 tackles and a center. You get guards out there. I mean, you get Matt Jones out there. You get Donovan Jackson out there, as opposed to just the four towers. But right, we know what 1 through 5 looks like. We may even know what 1 through 7 looks like. What's it? Give me 8, 9, and 10. And guys are still getting healthy, and we've heard from Ryan Day at Big Ten Media Days that They expect to be pretty good. There may be some guys that are a little limited at first. So just because you sit there and you see configuration on your second team line doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be. What you see practice 1 isn't what you're going to see practice 10. What we see practice 1 may be about it. I mean, again, we've seen kind of the schedule of what media availability is. We'll kind of see what we're able to get into and all. But we'll kind of go from there. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested to see how the running back reps go after 2. Obviously, Trevion Henderson's 1, Mayan Williams is 2. Evan Pryor should be 3. It's running back is one of those positions that you can kind of come in and make a name for yourself vis-a-vis Trevion Henderson, who became the guy last year. Does Dallin Hayden come in and does he press Evan Pryor? Probably not right off the bat, but how do things go there? I want to kind of see what happens in that instance. I want to see what the energy, what the juice is with the offense. And I'm not expecting them to come out and be running through brick walls here on practice 1. It's a long way to go. You're not going to win any games here on August 4th. But, you could lose games at this point if you're careless and dumb about how you go about things and you don't get stretched out and you pull something or whatever. I mean, we certainly have just throughout various sports seen people that have, are already going to be lost for the year because of ACLs and things like that. So, I mean, it's really important too to make sure that these guys go through the process the right way. Undoubtedly every year we end up hearing, the one training camp story of somebody who had something go wrong and then, long-term injury happens. We certainly don't want to see any of that. That's kind of a great equalizer. What do you want to see out of these first couple practices? I mean, we have a little bit of time before they get to, into pads and some stuff like that. Big Ten Network will be at a practice one day, which means that there'll be, a decent amount of it put up on BTN. But even that, that's going to go through the Ohio State censors. Oh, show this, don't show that. Don't show that either. But, what is it that you want to see? What are your biggest questions? I'm going to put that to you, and hopefully I have enough questions out of this show that the next show or the show after, I'm only planning on doing this weekdays, but, one of the next shows, I can answer your questions, or I can at least address them. Not sure there are any answers. I've sat here and spent the last 12 minutes on here saying, don't expect any answers out of practice 1. So I don't know. There might be a diminishing return coming out and addressing it right off the bat. But you guys are the ones who make this all possible. We are catering this show to you. So you let us know what it is you want to talk about, and we can kind of go from there. Just, one little aside as I get ready to wrap this up on Wednesday, August 3rd, Devin Royal commits to Ohio State. We kind of told you that one was coming. 6'6", 210, power forward out or combo. I guess he's maybe more of a small forward out of Pickerington Central. Picked Ohio State over Alabama and Michigan State. Funny story there. I mean, they were trying to get him linked in with Fran Fraschilla on ESPN through kind of online stuff, and it really bogged down. Kind of a technical nightmare for me. Camera was acting up. I did get a couple stills, was able to post a story over on Buckeye Scoop, but wasn't able to get everything I'd hoped for. When my video camera starts to reach double digit in years, I know that it's getting a little long in the tooth, and we're starting to get there. Anybody knows a good camera repair place in Columbus, please let me know. Not that I can afford any serious work on it, but neither here nor there. I want to thank you for spending your morning with me here on this quick show here on the Morning Scoop. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like, hit that bell, all that good stuff. And until the next one, have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.